want to talk about the Apple settling their developer class action lawsuit thing, because this has huge implications, and I'd like to kick it off. You can run through the topic because this is something you're a little bit better versed in than me, but I want to kick it off by saying to everyone who defended Apple's behavior and said that Apple is not a monopoly and the App Store is just their playground, their rules. This is Apple's admission, essentially, that you're wrong. Their behavior was bad, and you are actually wrong, and you need to go read. Go read. Go read about antitrust. Go read about anti-monopoly laws. Go read, please. Because I have gotten so many frustrating, stupid tweets about this. Every time I talk about it, I just get these horrendously bad takes. Apple's behavior is bad. It's really bad. And the fact that they're settling this to the tune of $100 million in a small developer fund tells you how bad it is and how badly they want this to go away and not continue to be a problem.
This is not the Epic lawsuit.
No, this isn't even the Epic lawsuit yet. Okay, so Luke, why don't you run us through this?
Okay, so this one's a little weird, and I haven't fully dove into it because it's not the Epic one. But in a settlement pending court approval, Apple agrees to a bunch of different terms. Clarify that developers can communicate directly with customers about alternative payment options outside of the app. This is very good. Very happy about that.
Yep.
That's the core thing for us. That's the main thing we're excited about. They can, however, use contact information gleaned from the app now with permission. Yeah, whatever. They are also establishing, this is the part that's a little odd for me and I haven't dove far enough into. They're establishing a $100 million small developer fund ranging between $250 to $30,000 to developers based on their size.
Yep.
That I'm not 100% certain how that's supposed to work. Also, it's not really $100 million. It's closer to 70, but we'll get more into that in a moment. Also, they are going to keep the small business program for another 3 years, expand price points, clarify that developers can appeal rejections, commit to develop search and discovery to drive high quality apps. That one's a little interesting. I'm not 100% certain how that actually ties into the rest of it, but whatever. And issue a transparency report about apps that are rejected and customer and developer accounts that are also rejected. That part is nice as well. I like that one too, because sometimes it's really hard to tell why the heck your thing actually got rejected. And if you guys remember, we got stuck in a many month-long rejection loop that they eventually just admitted oh yeah, we just actually never really reviewed it. And it has been fine for a long time. And all these revisions of the app that you guys made trying to be more and more compliant was actually useless because you guys were fine from many months ago. That was incredibly frustrating. Something kind of funny, kind of awkward, kind of annoying. I don't know enough about the legal space to actually understand how off base or on base this is, to be completely honest. This might be totally normal. It doesn't sound normal to me, but that $100 million small developer assistance fund, the lawyers that won this suit, so we're happy about
or reached a settlement with Apple.
Right. Yes. We're happy that this is happening. We're happy that they got there, but the lawyers are planning on taking, or I don't think it's planning, I believe they just are taking $30 million of the $100 million small developer assistance fund. I know there's a lot of different weird ways that lawyers are compensated for their work. So I don't know how normal this is. I don't know how normal a fee for this would be. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not that unusual for a lawyer to work for a very low rate with the goal of winning the case with as large a settlement as possible, and then getting paid out of that settlement. And in fact, it's one of the biggest problems with class action suits in general, is that the only real beneficiary is lawyers. So there's this constant incentive for lawyers to just file more and more and more of these suits because they basically get to go after a nice juicy vein to suck onto that company gets to pay a whack of money because probably they did something wrong, or maybe not, I don't know, whatever. The lawyers managed to win the lawsuit. And then the actual end users who were affected by this in some meaningful way in a lot of cases. I mean, I've seen settlements as small as like $5, right? Like it's not an amount of money that is
Almost not even worth filing for. Yeah.
yeah, that is meaningful in any way. So the lawyer, so let's say you had a $1 million settlement, 30% of it goes to the lawyer or the law firm, so that's like 300 grand, and then $2 each to the what would that, or like $5 each to the, what would that work out to, like 100,000 people, 120,000 people affected. It's like, okay. So basically, the only purpose it served was getting the company to admit that they were wrong, and then lawyers get money.
Yeah.
It's a big problem. I don't know how to fix it.
People in Floatplane chat are saying that it's extremely normal for attorneys to take like 30-40%. I saw someone else say it's normally 20%. Who knows? Either way, I think this is as outrageous as it sounds. I think it's not technically out to lunch, which is kind of nuts. And while some people are trying to style on the lawyers for doing this, and the fact that they have 4 pages of reasons why they should get the $30 million, which just sounds funny. I'm just happy that we're moving forward. I'm not super concerned about the small developer fund. There is a huge amount of developers. I suspect we would probably be considered under that, and we would probably get next to nothing, and it's not going to matter. What does matter is we're moving towards better payment solutions for the App Store, and we're moving towards Apple kind of admitting fault. And I feel like them losing this one might help the like Epic case, which is more the one that we're actually hoping to go through. So
yeah,
we'll
that's
have
going
to
to take
see.
a long time though, because Epic is asking for a lot more than these developers were. There are some really funny stories in Floatplane chat. Alana Kation, I think I got $6 out of a class action suit against Google. Computer Whisperer says I got $1.95 from a PayPal lawsuit. This is great. CMD underscore says I still have the never cashed check for $1.25 or something from a class action about a company using robo dialers. This is great. Oh man. Oh yeah. And so West T27 says admits they were wrong. Okay, yeah, most of the settlements usually say something to the effect of claims no fault. That's a lot of the time part of the payout is, you're right. They're going to say, no, we didn't do anything wrong, because if they do, then it could open themselves up to more lawsuits. And, because obviously if they did something wrong once, they probably did it wrong twice. So yep, you're probably right. But I still think that this will add fuel. The fact that Apple settled, whatever they legally said or not, does say something about how vulnerable they think that they are right now. And the fact that they settled for so much would seem to indicate that they're trying to buy a lot of goodwill right now. Yeah, they have not gotten a lot of good press for the way that they've treated app developers. Speaking of bad press,
I would have liked more stuff in there that helps the app developers in real ways, instead of this like small developer fund thing, which is not actually going to really help very many small app developers in the long run, and was just like looted for $30 million from the lawyers. I wish there was more actual stuff coming through, but at least there's some stuff coming through, and hopefully it sets precedent, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.